Yeah, when I'm looking at how these compositions each kind of play out, the space and setup that's required of FlyQuest, in my opinion, is a little bit more difficult. They obviously do have champions with pick potential, like the Cassante, like the Wukong kind of jumping on top of you. I was wondering if Fudge was going to go for it. He did not. But they kept their entire roster, right, except for mid lane. They did that mid lane swap, as we see.
Yep, Flash coming out immediately. The follow unstoppable force from Contracts, and it appears Griffin is caught in a place he cannot escape. It's first blood over to Shopify.
Contracts just had the earlier level 6 there. Griffin was not quite 6, and Contracts,
except for the top laners, Quad has his. You've got them ready and available, not just for Zinni and B-Boy, but also for Seos, who does have the Summoner Spellbook on the Bard. So I want to see if Shopify can really catch FlyQuest off guard with all these TPs. Griffin goes in for the Cyclone. Contracts tanks the front of it. There's your curtain call. 3 shots and Contracts in. He goes in for the shuffle, but he only finds the target there on a Griffin as the Wukong is about to die again. B-Boy takes the kill. Zinni staying alive. Quad at least finds it, but no, the kill credit goes over to Cryogen. It's a 2-for-1 favoring Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, it's good for Shopify at the end of the day here. Zinni tried to go for the big play with that flash shuffle, but couldn't catch him.
Yeah, B-Boy in danger now, down to 300 HP. You're going to see Seos down to 200 as well, but FlyQuest don't have the firepower to finish off those kills.
They have first move here. This is going to be completely uncontested. You can see Masu and Cryogen are just walking out of base. Griffin is still just farming. He does not have that completed item because with the Zeke's Rush, it's a lot faster completion than something like the Triforce on the other side, and he's got CDR boots as well.
And it looks like Shopify wants to make a move after Quad here. The exhaust is down into the Emperor's Divide, and when Contracts shows up, they've got more than enough damage. Contracts will take his first kill of the game as Shopify go up 4-1.
And I mean, it's fantastic for Contracts. Doesn't even have to spend the ulti, as Fudge gonna have to flash out of there.
Oh, okay. Zinni overstays his welcome, gets a little greedy there, and Griffin cashes in.
Triforce done.
Yeah.
It's just ready to go, and we'll see how Zinni died. Looks like he's just gonna get caught by a flash ER, and that is just about that.
Yep, you're dead before the last tick of damage comes out from the Cyclone, so not really that great. Meanwhile, all out here on the top side, Fudge in some danger, and Griffin is going to pick up his second kill of the game. FlyQuest striking back. It was a rough start for Griffin, but he has made up for it a little bit now as B-Boy fires off another piercing arrow. Meanwhile, back in mid lane, it's Contracts. The torpedo finds the robot, and kaboom, another kill towards that jungle Malphite.
Try to get mid cryo, the most important thing ever in the history of League of Legends. As we see Shopify maybe setting up for a dive again.
Okay, Cryo and Quad gonna look to see if they can try to stop this, but as soon as Contracts gets the chance, he's immediately full sending it here with the ultimate, gets shuffled back towards the team, and Zinni's taking his third kill of the game. The Azir gets fed, Orianna's dead. Shopify know the playbook.
Yeah, that was a great redive and setup. They had the wave, more money in the pocket of Zinni, and we'll see if Griffin wants to try to respond with a potential dive onto Fudge up here.
Okay, immediately Gakgos goes in, goes all out over the wall, brings Fudge away from the safety of the turret. Dominus or not, that
nicely done.
Is done for. The burst from FlyQuest is clean to get a fourth kill.
I mean, they made that dive look so easy. Gakgos sets it up perfectly, just pulls him fully away from that tower. They knock him down. Got to be a bit critical of Quad, though, on that bot side. That ult was a max-range Malphite ult, as Cryogen has a great sidestep on that Varus one. But Quad needed to flash that Malphite ult in bot lane. That was literally max range with flash up. You're a pro player on land. You have no ping. You got to flash that.
Maybe he thought they wouldn't have been able to kill him, but obviously was proved wrong after as a TP arrives for Shopify Rebellion. The Herald's going to lose some patience. Cryogen does get slowed down by the binding there, and Shopify are going to clear out the vision, maintain control of the Herald pit, and this objective is going their way, no contest. Yeah, it's like if you're not flashing the ulti, you shouldn't be flashing, right? Because at that point, the spell is just going to be wasted, but sometimes those are some of the small errors that can end up costing more as the game goes forward. Griffin stunned to the wall here as FlyQuest want to go after the Drake. Seo's caught out by the Deadly Flourish. He does open up a magical journey, takes that to safety over the wall. Contracts ready to contest here for the smite, gets knocked up by the first cast of the Cyclone, and that's enough to force Shopify back. Now Fudge is looking for his opportunity to get some kind of a punish. Tempered Fate finds Griffin. Piercing arrow charged up over the wall, not going to find a target. Now Cryogen is that target as Contracts wants some more damage. Gets away with the magical journey. FlyQuest coming in here with the teleport. The Shockwave not finding the mark means Shopify is still alive for now. Seo's down to half HP. Curtain Call not hitting the targets on this one, as the Herald is summoned up down here in the bottom lane, maybe for combat purposes. Gakko's coming in, root onto Fudge yet again, and FlyQuest gets the kill underneath the tower. Now the Herald is going to be an Uber back home to safety, but it looks like they're going to drive it through the ditch instead. It's all right. They're not in trouble. The tier 1 turret should just fall down here, though, and it's a very good sequence for FlyQuest.
Initially, I thought Shopify were just going to go for a soft contest and completely back off once they pulled FlyQuest away from that Drake pit, but...
Gotta say, Protoplasm Harness also pretty strong on the Malphite here. That was the second item completion. He was on 2 full items there, where it's like just Triforce in pieces for the other jungler.
Jungle Malphite shops the same brands that Jungle Ivern does, right? they don't care about names, they don't care about brands or clout. Zinni does not care about anything right now because he is dead for the next 40 seconds. Nice plays coming out there from FlyQuest, but now the attempted punish for Shopify. Piercing Arrow gets the first kill. B-Boy's on a killing spree. Griffin in a little bit of danger as the Chains of Corruption over the wall don't find the target, but Fudge is in hot pursuit. The Croc gets fed, and Quad is out of mana, out of options, out of time as he runs towards the enemy turrets. A flash seismic shard from Contracts to guarantee there's no execution, and Shopify get the better of the trade. They're up 2,000 gold.
But they didn't end up being able to walk in, so they kind of just watched them take both the Krugs and the red buff and push bot all at the same time. And FlyQuest really starting to fall behind more and more. It's nearly 3K now.
Okay, knock up there on Seos. He tries to get away, but the curtain call has opened. First 2 shots, find the support. Third hit Zinni. Fourth one saved for Seos, and the shutdown over to Masu. Fourth shot gets it done. Now Contracts on the run. Deadly Flourish will not hit him for that extra CC. Shopify continues their retreat. Defensive Malphite ulti to make sure he doesn't die there. Yeah, you see, all right, he's got some shoes, but you know, it's not like they're not name brand, right? No. We're all shopping at the Malphite store today. Shopify Rebellion are first to the bottom side river, looking at this third Drake of the game. FlyQuest thinking about contesting for it, but remember, nobody's super stacked. FlyQuest still wants the challenge.
Oh,
it's going to be stolen away by Griffin. The Wukong goes in to take the objective. Contracts bursted low, but he's not bursted down. Masu's in danger as Fudge slices and dices into the middle of the fight. Zinni wants to go in, and he finds the shuffle onto Cryogen. Everybody else barely manages to escape, but Quad gets the single auto attack to get Zinni back. He tries to flash to get away. A little bit more damage is not there from Shopify as B-Boy fires a rain of arrows over the wall, but it cannot hit Quad. Masu's still on the run. It's 1 dead on the side of Shopify, 2 dead for Fly.
Very young team. They were already a young team. They were, one of the youngest teams international when we would go. But they got even younger. This was last year.
But it looks like Quad might not be getting much older on the Rift. Contracts are going to take him out before old age can strike, as Griffin's in the middle of everybody with a 3-man slide. Contract's going to get hit there by the R2 as Zinni retreats. FlyQuest trying to find these kills, but they don't have the burst to get anybody here just yet. Gakko's into the back line. Zinni's going to be taken low, taken down. Gakko's gets the kill. Fudge is trying to create the same kind of space into the FlyQuest back lines. He stuns up Quad. Attack, but he can't find it. The shield is real, and Quad stays alive.
That is massive for FlyQuest. They win out this fight 3-0. We'll see if they can try to push for a Baron. They really want to go for it here.
Yeah, piercing arrow coming out from B-Boy. Contracts has to be the one keeping anybody from FlyQuest away from this Varus. FlyQuest now still all 5 players alive, going after the Baron. It's 15 seconds until Zinni is back alive. 5 seconds on Seos. B-Boy and Contract stepping up. Cryogen going to be your target here at the start. Baron half HP. Now
3 seconds on Malphite ult.
Gakkos, he's low. Griffin low. In goes Contracts. Tries to take him out. Flashes into the back of the pit. Wants to be able to fight for the smite. It's Griffin to guarantee it for FlyQuest. But now the rest of the fight has to be fought. Zinni going in for Quad. Needs the damage. Finds it. But he dies himself. Seos and B-Boy are chasing him down. They want to get as many of these kills as they can. Griffin's still waiting in the tri-brush, seeing if there's an opportunity to try to turn. Cryogen with a Montre Enter Flame. Masu down to 100 HP. He stays alive. B-Boy gets 1 kill. He's on a rampage. He gets a second there on Masu. Seos knows Griffin and Gakkos are the only two left alive here with the bear when he tries to go in. Fudge pops Dominus. He wants to try to slice him and dice him with a call to Meek. He goes back in. Gakkos is kiting him. Fudge is chasing. Griffin and Gakkos juggling this Renekton around, but Fudge finally gets the kill. Now what about the last one? If they can get the kill on Griffin here, it's massive, because that's the last Baron, but no, Griffin survived.
What a fight over by the Baron. That was insanity.
Apollo looks like one of those anime ghosts has like left his body. The fight before that, I do want to point out.
Wait, hold on. We don't have time for that right now. Immediately Griffin's going in and B-Boy's going down. Perfect engage there from FlyQuest, and they're looking to make it a 2-for-1 deal. Griffin on a killing spree as Contract's Malphite falls, and now with the Dragon begun, because of the fact that Griffin stole the last one, this is FlyQuest moving to Soul Point.
Yeah, this is huge. This is Soul Point for FlyQuest. I love what we've been seeing from Griffin in this game, even when it was Contracts really trying. Fudge is in trouble.
Yeah, hold on. What's going on here with the Crocodile?
He was in position for what he thought was going to be the Dragon fight.
Yeah.
But then his team got caught moving to the Dragon, and he was trying to recall. Gets, I think, found out on that recall, so gets spotted, ends up going down, and I mean, what a massive difference these couple objective secures have made for Griffin. Griffin is super fed now. Getting that last Dragon, securing the Baron over Contracts as well is huge for FlyQuest. They're in control.
Yeah, Masu just used the curtain call to poke Shopify down so the rest of the team could move up, take down this tier 1 turret, and guarantee more money in their pockets. Now nearly a 3,000 gold lead for FlyQuest. Less than 4 minutes on the clock until their Dragon Soul will spawn. FlyQuest moving up, looking to reassert themselves as dominant in this river area with the Baron on the map. Contracts and Zenny waiting. Contract with a 3-man knockup, but nobody else is there. Nobody else is in the same town. Nobody else is in the same damn zip code. Masu just shoots him down, and Shopify are not coordinated enough. Griffin spins in with the R1, and he knocks B-Boy up into the air. Masu shoots him back down into the ground. Cryogen kills Seos. It's 3 dead for free, favoring FlyQuest.
And that's going to be Baron as well.
Yeah.
And Contracts just sees 3-man ulti and his eyes get big, but your Varus is not there, your Azir's not there. No one can follow up on the play. Yeah, I mean, that is a tough one.
Hold on, we're already back to live, my friends. Gakko's in the front line. Fudge wrapping around for the flank here with the Dominus. Tempered Fate lands onto Quad, but Contracts is already killed at the start of the fight. Yet again, Fudge only arrives in time to be isolated from the rest of his team. Griffin goes into the back line of Shopify. Immediately forced away by the Emperor's Divide. FlyQuest has low health bars, but Shopify have already lost a man. Dragon still live. Remember, it's Cloud Soul if FlyQuest claim it. B-Boy still have plenty of HP to work with. They need a lot of value here out of the piercing arrows. Curtain call opens up. B-Boy tagged with 2 shots. Make it 3 and he's already dead. Who brings a bow to a gunfight? It's not a winning play. FlyQuest are gonna take the kills and the objective.
And Seos just bailed on B-Boy. The Secret Service just dove out of the way. The president got taken out as Masu takes down B-Boy with that final shot. And Ludwig and Most Critical tune in at an inopportune moment, I think. They're on the precipice of closing out this game. Cloud Soul with these kind of champions and these long extended fights with that much move speed, so tough to deal with.
Yeah.
Cloud Soul Wukong is just wild stuff. Every time he gets this buff, it feels like the champion has unlimited target access. As FlyQuest are looking to force their way into the enemy base now. It's bottom lane, the first target here at the tier 3 turret line. Masu finds a quick shot there into B-Boy. Takes off about 1/3 of his HP. As this tier 3 turret really isn't looking particularly sturdy. Shopify continuing to scramble to try to defend as FlyQuest move up slowly but surely towards their first inhibitor. That one should die in no time at all. Deadly Flourish locks up Zenny back near his own Nexus turrets as the mid lane tier 3 is the next target for FlyQuest. Griffin and Quad working together on that one. They've got it down to only the final plate as they'll force their way into a second lane now, and that inhibitor will also have no serious defense. The top lane wave is in no condition for a full 3 inhib play, but I think FlyQuest are pretty happy with the state of things.
Yeah, I mean, no kidding. Masu is almost to a true 7 items now at this point.
And now you can see FlyQuest walking up the last remaining wave of non-supered minions as this tier 2 turret is not okay. Jin just shot 40% of its HP off in 1 hit. Okay, FlyQuest are really hungry for this last inhibitor.
730 move speed without the Ghost Blade active when he rocks the Storm Razor.
Contracts goes in. He only finds the knockup onto Griffin, and that's not going to be a valuable enough target. Tempered Fate onto 2. Contracts, though, still isolated here on the front line. Finally dies. Quad taking a kill as Zinni goes next. Gakkos will claim that kill himself as Fudge is juggled around. At least there's the 1 kill back onto Gakkos for Shopify. They'll lose 2 for 1, but they do hold the tier 3 turret for now.
Yeah, they are alive for now. B-Boy surviving alongside Fudge. They do still have some power, and Fudge got a 1K shutdown there off of Gakkos. If B-Boy can hit these arrows, it's great, but there's just so much move speed, it makes it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, look at Monster. He goes in. That's 2 auto attacks. 2 auto attacks onto B-Boy, takes that much HP. Deadly Flourish doesn't hit Seos. FlyQuest don't need anything more. They already got what they came for here. It's 2.5 minutes of double super minions in every single lane. The last chance for Shopify to do anything here would have to be fully crazy with the steal. We'll see what Contracts has ready to go. Everybody on Shopify is in the area, but the Baron's already down to 3,000 HP. It's going to be claimed by Griffin before anything else even happens. Cryogen down to 20%, but it will not matter. They cannot kill him. Another kill on the Contracts. Fudge gets one back. Griffin knocks everybody up into the air, and Shopify has to scatter. Zinni wants the Emperor's Divide, but the only thing cut in half is Shopify's roster. Nobody's still standing. It's a 5 for 2, and FlyQuest will march it down mid.
What a fantastic opening match for this FlyQuest roster.
Nicely done from FlyQuest. A shaky start. They recovered it in the mid-game, and they sent it home late. They'll go up 1-0 in this best of 3.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't do damage. You could see towards the late game fights, Contracts is ulting people, and the team, if the team was not following up on this ult, there was actually 0 damage there. It had to be from the Azir, it had to be from the Varus.
Really nice front line for this Aphelios to set up, right? Like, we see a lot of potential for the rest of his team to kind of be setting up Masu in a more traditional, like, front-to-back 5v5.
As the minions are just now really colliding for the first time here in the lanes, we are waiting for Kangas, who's standing by for an interview with Griffin's brother. Hold on 1 second. That interview's coming up right after first blood, because FlyQuest gets paid. Masu's got the first kill. Kangas, what does Griffin's brother have to say about that? But he's only going to find a ward to clear out, and it does seem that we'll get the Scion ulti back to the lane there from Gakkos. Not planning on needing that one to join any sort of a fight here soon. About halfway through the teleport timer for him, as well as Griffin is going to be in some danger. Immediately jumped on by Shopify Rebellion, but they don't have the burst. Seismic shove back the other way as Contracts is low. Griffin flashes away. B-Boy over the wall here with the Falcon. Zinni is down to 40% HP. FlyQuest looking for more. They want the enemy rise, but they can't quite find him. Masu tags B-Boy with the Gravitum, and they lock up the Corki. Flash over the wall keeps him alive. Seos in some danger. Flayed right back into the unraveled earth, and Quad picks up another one. FlyQuest have a 3-1 game.
Nicely done there by FlyQuest.
Yeah, and this should be able to set up Dragon for Shopify. I was wondering, okay, when we see these mid laners roam, right, Quad joining that river fight previously, Zinni using the Realm Warp to get onto Griffin, keep him down, and then be able to rotate up for Shopify to take this first Drake. So
But once that item's complete, man, you are feeling pretty strong. Dusk and Dawn is definitely one of the winners, it feels like, from all of the new season changes, as Void Grubs are claimed all 3.
And now your selection of counter pick here instead of first pick starts to feel like, all right, what did we really get done?
All right, Griffin's going in, immediately stuns up Zinni. There is your seismic shove into the unravel.
Whoa!
It's a textbook play in the mid lane, and bottom side, the 2v2 is a dub for FlyQuest as well. 5-1 game now, as Shopify falls flat in 2 separate lanes at the same time. And Cryogen threads the needle there with a death sentence. Masu is going to need a little bit more damage to finish off the kill, and the single auto attack will do it. FlyQuest styling on him in the 2v2. Okay, so critically, we've got the second Drake of the game about to spawn here in 15 seconds. Mid lane and bottom lane quests are completed for FlyQuest. They are not for Shopify Rebellion. Pretty big difference in power there, as FlyQuest have to be a little bit mindful of Quad's position. Seos does hit him up there with that ulti, but no, it's Seos' Nico in trouble as Griffin goes forward and he finds the kill. Jumps back over the wall there with the lantern, staying alive for now. Shopify trying to escape. Fudge knocked back with the seismic shove. Zenny's your next target. He goes with the blast cone, clears the wall. Nice placement on that one, but still, it's only a consolation prize. They've already lost their support, and the control over the bot side river belongs to Fly. Quad still looking for a little bit more. Wants seismic shove, won't find it. Decimating smash prevents the counterattack from Shopify, and FlyQuest continues looking for any more opportunities. They're already 3,500 gold ahead, and they just claimed the Drake.
The mid lane in this game, right? Because Quad, we talked about him getting involved early with his team, with that Talia wall, as they're going to look to get on Fudge.
Yeah, Fudge has got to be careful here. Does manage to clear a little bit further. Death Sentence does not hit the Gnar. Masu has Graviton, but he's got to be a bit careful as Contract shows up and the wind becomes lightning, doesn't find the right target. Griffin is going to be left for dead. Pop Blossom from Seos hits Cryogen, but there's no additional damage. Griffin the only casualty so far. The minion wave has crashed into the tier 1 turret. FlyQuest wants to try to get away. Masu surely knows he's dead here, but a beautiful Death Sentence means he doesn't die alone. Cryogen will fall, and honestly, big punish coming out of Shopify there in a 3-for-1.
Yeah, and just as we were praising FlyQuest for being kind of aggressive within reason, they really overextend on that topside play where the rest of Shopify...
Kind of just an impossible to play fight. They almost burst down Contracts. He flashes away from Masu's ulti, but we're back fighting again.
Yeah, we're already back to live. It was flash from Griffin, flash from Zenny, and there's enough damage left on the volley bear to finish the kill on the rise. 30-second death timer, but what else can they get from it?
Which is going to make it a lot more difficult to stick to him. It's super valuable against champions like the Xin, like the Gnar, who, you know, are going to have trouble actually getting through the Thresh, right? You're trying to get in onto this guy through Box, through Flay, through Lantern.
I have to feel like FlyQuest as a whole is feeling confident in their ability to just say, if it's a fight on even terms, we win.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's so tough for all of these kind of shorter range champions to be able to find those entrants into fights.
Okay, immediate ulti coming out from Griffin here, and the seismic shove on Contracts knocks him back into the team. You want to take a free dragon, kill the enemy jungler. Contracts is going to respawn just in time for that timer, but he'll be trapped in the base. Zenny's dead here too, and things just aren't getting any better for Shopify Rebellion. All right, Dragon is the target here for Shopify, trying to get anything they can in a game that is getting further and further away from their grasp. But FlyQuest have brought the whole party here too. Fudge running low on the Gnar bar as Cryogen's the target for B-Boy, but he's not low enough health to try to burst him down. Mountain Drake claimed by Shopify. Big move there from Contracts, hitting the smite. But can FlyQuest find anything afterwards? It doesn't quite look like it. They're going to walk away. So chalk that one up as a win for the Rebellion.
Yeah, I feel like Cryogen was really out of position there. You know, you're not playing Alistar. You're not a flanking champion, right? You need to kind of be with the team to step forward and have that threat of the hook to create space for your team, which is so hard to do because you have a champion, a tank that has 3 AoE abilities and an ult that does AoE damage and can get back to you lane faster, and a passive that also lets you get experience and clear up the wave even if you die. So Fudge now maybe gonna get chased down. Yeah,
the decimating smash knocks him up into the air, even though Griffin got knocked away there by the Mega Gnar ulti. The volley bear is right back in business with a point and click stun. Decimating smash on top of it makes it all too easy to land every other skill shot. Griffin's gonna take his 3rd kill of the game.
They've been willing to hit the go button so frequently. They've actually been playing out this mid game pretty patiently, really trying to set up their side lanes, getting picks when they can in them, and that's set up for this completely uncontested Drake, and now they're on Soul Point.
And this is something I was talking about earlier with the lack of teleports in this game. It's much harder for Zenny to get in here. He has Realm Warp to try to close the distance if he can. Seo's still on the flank. Fudge and B-Boy looking for the opportunity, but Fudge has no Gnar bar. He has to fight as many Gnar if they want to go in. Contracts being chased back away by Griffin as the Baron will partially reset. Griffin's over the wall, nearly kills Contracts, instantly goes on a killing spree, right back over to grab his Eve off. And Griffin is beast mode on the volley bear. A double kill as he knocks down B-Boy. The bear is there and he just don't care. Griffin will finally fall, but it's a good death.
Oh my God, Griffin just straight up like 1v2'd them there, man. They pull off the Baron, he just goes for the fight, knocks down Contracts, and then takes even more. The team won't stop.
They are not done yet. A rampage for Quad as Seos cannot escape the fallout of the fight. Zenny continues pushing up the mid lane here, but he's greeted by Masu, who does have purple gun. Nobody else around on the FlyQuest side means Zenny is just fine.
and that is the power of the Dusk and Dawn. This item is ridiculously powerful in the right hands, and that is clone after clone.
Good catch there from Cryogen, finds Seos, and that is the real Nico. Trying to get away, not gonna happen. Quad is unstoppable, and that Sky Splitter that you're talking about, Azale, that is the difference between getting the second kill and not. It was such a small amount of HP, Sky Splitter more than accounts for that. As now with the enemy support dead, one of those huge, big engage mechanisms, there's no way for Shopify to approach the Baron, and that's Baron going the way of FlyQuest, as Shopify are gonna try to take the consolation prize of the Drake. This will set them to Soul Point, but now they've got to weather the Baron Storm for the next 3 minutes.
And I just love how
we're doing it.
After that duel that he had, he's like, you know what? I will build Navori.
Will he even get to it before they close out this game?
He is looking fearsome, though. What a great debut so far for Griffin. Had a slower start in game 1, but ended up being huge for them throughout the later stages. And in this second game, he has been massive. You know, Zinni is trying to split push, trying to get something going, but I just feel like they don't care at all.
Yeah, we've got everybody from FlyQuest minus Gakgos pushing up this mid lane. That inhibitor gets claimed. Gakgos is over in mid, getting the second lane primed and ready to go for the push to rotate over right after. Fudge is going to try to stop this one as FlyQuest decide they are not going to continue full pressing on this. They're going to reset.
They're kind of just playing, you know, in this one way where they're feeling like, okay, we are stronger. We are going to force fights. That is what we are going to do. Quick plays are now done. So Griffin wants to fight anyone on the map. You pretty much don't lose 1v1s as long as you can hit. Actualizer is done for Zinni, so that is a pretty big spike if you can find that perfect combo with that item active.
Yeah, Actualizer is pretty nutty on Rise. You can get over 6,000 mana with this ridiculous thing. You have 2 tier items alongside it, but it's still a very, very uphill battle for the Shopify side. Down over 5,000 gold. At least they do have Soul Point. I feel like if maybe they can hold out and somehow secure the Mountain Soul, that's pretty much the only chance they've got here. But FlyQuest have just been playing much more of a coordinated game. Masu staying safe there, pulled back to safety. Shopify Rebellion will defend the mid lane inhibitor, but not the turret that protects it.
And meaning that they have that extra inhib up, but yeah, they still lost the top one, but at least it won't be those 2 inhibs down for when you're having to deal with that on the other side of the map.
Okay, could be a catch here. Quad knocked up into the air by the 3 Talon strike. Flash over the seismic shove from Contracts. A stasis from Quad to buy an extra moment, but he is shut down. That's 1,000 gold in the Xin Zhao's pocket. Wind becomes lightning, and Griffin is the next target. Fudge with the Mega Gnar into the wall, and now they're going to take Griffin out as well, but Zinni dies in trade. FlyQuest brings in the reinforcements, but Shopify still get a 2-for-1.
Yeah, and Seos and Beaver are here. If they overchase, they can actually walk right into this Nico. We'll see.
And there's Monster. He's caught immediately. The burst is down, and there goes the 80 carry from FlyQuest. Massive mistakes at a massive moment, and with 20 seconds on the clock for the Mountain Soul, Shopify have found their hope. The cooldowns are virtually non-existent, but if they can lock him up, he's not super durable, as now Shopify have begun the Baron. They've got it down to 1/3 HP. Are they going to try to burst this, or are they going to risk a flip? Seo's coming around for the flank. Contracts in the middle of everybody, but where's the follow-up Pop Blossom? Shopify got to be careful now as FlyQuest continue to defend. B-Boy firing off some rockets. Quad goes over the wall. The Weaver's wall trying to create some chaos. Fudge is locked up. The Mega Gnar transforms just in time, but he should still die here. Another rock is thrown, and Fudge is gone. A kill for Masu as Zinni drops, and Shopify Rebellion are now caught on the wrong side of the map. It's Contracts, Seos, and B-Boy in a 3v5. They're going to need some kind of miracle here as they
Masu's going mid
towards the enemy turret. Masu's going to go mid because these death timers will be delayed. The rest of FlyQuest is confident in their ability to 4v3. There's still 40 seconds on both dead players for the Rebellion, and now the remaining 3 will try to re-engage onto Griffin. Plenty of damage here as B-Boy's first to die. Resurrection comes through on Contracts, and Seos is going to drop next. Contracts can't get away, and Masu's position in the enemy base sets FlyQuest up for the win. Masu will do plenty of work. Gakgos is going to show up with the TP to help him, and FlyQuest, recognizing their chance, will stop any Shopify hope, and the new FlyQuest rebuild starts 2026 with a 2-0 win.
What are you talking about rebuild? They're already online. They're already here.